Hi everyone, I'm Napoleon Complex. Welcome back to Rome Total War Online, and here we go again with the Carthaginian strategy. So this is going to be Hannibal's strategy at Cannae, and I've taken an army that allows me to use a similar strategy to that. Very interesting that my opponent has decided to go with the Brutii. So that will be interesting. So I just let the screen come up and I can introduce my opponent. So we'll get into deployment.
We are lovers of peace and prosperity.
Right, so let's see who my opponent today is. Bart Gabriel 8. So Bart has been kind enough to agree to this. He seems quite eager actually. Let's start to form up in formation. So I'm going to have my... Now these Spanish mercenaries actually represent the Gauls as well. So we've got the Gallic mercenaries in the centre. That should be these two units here. We have the Spanish, slightly more reliable Spanish Sutari, either side of them. And then what we're going to have is a gradient of quality in our infantry going out towards the flanks. So we're kind of forming an outward facing crescent, but what I actually hope to do is bring that formation back in and form a reverse crescent so that the infantry out on the flanks start to envelop the Romans as they come in through the centre, and these units actually need to fall back at some point. Put the Balearic slingers out on the sides, because they will be quite good there. Particularly these units on the flank, they can fire at the enemy without shield, but we do want some coverage of the other flank just to protect our own unshielded side. Okay, I think I'll leave skirmish mode on for now. Let's see, right, the idea is that all of our strong cavalry go on this flank, and all of our light cavalry, which are also strong cavalry, go on this flank, and I think for the minute I'll keep skirmish mode on because they do need to be able to avoid, and why would I turn fire at will mode off? General remains back here. He is in reserve. He's nice and protected because Hannibal wasn't generally a get involved type of general. He would stay close behind the line supporting his troops, and he would try to motivate them not to try and get into combat himself. Won't use lots of fancy command groups. I can just quickly grab my cavalry if I need them. Let's have a battle. Okay. Ooh, my opponent has boxed up. Okay, so we're going to have to go and shake them out of bed. And I'll quickly send my cavalry on both flanks forward. In fact, actually, because my opponent's hesitated, I probably want to bring my infantry forward close enough that they're in contact, but I don't want to run them straight up to the enemy. Right, he's pulling his cavalry back. That's fine. So that's the first part of the strategy. We want to envelop the enemy army. Okay, my troops are starting to take fire already. Go up there and hit those triarii with some stones. And oops, okay, this is a bit dangerous. We'll do what I did last time, bring my cavalry all the way around. And he's just cut his cavalry off, so I'll bring them around in a big encirclement. Turn around! Bright eyes and charge! Oh, I love seeing that. Those Praetorians are dead meat. Okay, I see the other unit coming, so we need to get out of here. I'm out of time. Move it! Uh-oh. Well, their archers took out my Balearic slingers. You're not getting it out of it that easy. Once I have peeled up his cavalry, I need to destroy them. And then I can break his triarii. Come on. Control problems. Oh, that's a lot of fire arrows. That is a lot of fire arrows. Right. Infantry can start moving up. Hopefully not in quite such a clumsy manner. Charge! Break them! For the love of God, break them! Alright, now we have cavalry superiority. Triarii, now he's forced to box up. So we have his formation under siege. Now I need to engage with the infantry and occupy his front line. Let's see if we can break these Triarii first. Right, bring that tidal wave of cavalry down on the backs of those isolated spearmen. Because they might be spearmen, but they're still not going to be able to do very well against all of this. And there we go. Crushed. Alright. Ooh, we're taking heavy losses from those Roman archers. Alright. Get our cavalry behind the enemy lines. So let's see what we've got here. Lots of archers, but they'll be very vulnerable to cavalry charges if we can get through this gap. Oh, those urban cohorts are going to be a tough match. Right, start to push the spearmen towards the flanks here. Uh-oh. I didn't mean for them to actually rout. Right. We look weak enough there. Start to draw back. Now I need a crushing attack. Oh, we charge. Okay, right. But that's left his back lines vulnerable. If we can charge in that. Oh, wow. Okay, he really has walled it off. Go for the gaps in the line. Gaps in the line. Oh, very good sally out by the general. I need my own general in. Oh no, we've been seen off. Oh, how did all that go wrong? Okay, well, we've been dragged into battle here. It's all gone horribly wrong on the right. Ugh. Well, this isn't working very well. I'm still working out what hit me. And my general's lost. Oh, I see he's got experience on his general's bodyguard. Right, he may have forgotten about these. Need to try to use my mobility to my advantage. The situation has actually stabilized a little bit over here. Gosh, they're strong. We managed to break the urban cohort. Now the cavalry can dash in here. We're breaking them here. Right, turn in. We've all been seen off here. He saw it coming. Well, we killed their general. That should help.
Rather than leading his men to a dignified defeat.
They're being supported by their artillerymen. Those archers caused terrible casualties. Of course, the Romans didn't have good archers at the Battle of Cannae, and so that's an element that I didn't account for. Good Roman archers. Because it's not something you associate with the Romans either, good archers. Why am I getting good game? This isn't over yet. We've rallied up. Okay, he's coming back with his general's guard. I'm gonna hop out of there. Ooh, that was strong. Get the horsemen out of there. No, don't go in for a massive attack like that. Ooh, Jesus. I want to. He's offered me another game, but I'm focusing too much to answer. See if I can get a lull in the battle. Break them. We just can't get rid of the urban cohort, no matter how I try. Even with their general dead. Here. Oh, come on, die! How are they not dead? How is that urban unit still alive? No, that's what's going to decide it here. Oh, they've still got arrows left. Nope, that's it. Okay, I think I have to admit defeat there. Oh.
Victory belongs to your enemies, but only at the whim of fate.
I cannot believe how hard those Praetorians fought. I mean, they ground us to a standstill. And the archers completely caught me off guard. I was not expecting to face Roman archers that were that powerful. I managed to drive off the cavalry okay, but I couldn't exploit that because he protected his backs with triarii effectively. The archers really did me in, I think. That and the fact that the Roman pili devastated my Cetari, so I'm going to have to rethink my approach here. Right, I'll see you guys in the next battle map. Okay folks, here we are back with Bart, and this time I am taking a very old-fashioned Theban style army, ironically with Spartans, who they historically defeated with this battle. I am going to be trying to follow the strategy which the Thebans used to win at the Battle of Leuctra. So I'm going to have my toughest units on the right wing. And then I am going to gradient, let's see, so they have to have a fairly central presence on the battlefield, otherwise my opponent's just going to run away from them. Because I neglected to bring any cavalry, maybe keep a unit back here as reserve against cavalry attack. And the rest of my army is going to be gradiented away from my opponent's army, and the idea is to try and close with the Spartans first, win the battle on that side quickly, and then turn to face the rest of the enemy army. Now my opponent today is going as the Germans. Now how well the strategy is going to work, given the presence of the Germanic cavalry, is questionable. As you can see, I've stretched some of my units right back, so they're right at the other side of the battlefield. And I think to further... well, I'll put half of my archers over here to help with the attack on this flank. And maybe the Rhodians as well. They need to be careful. They need to be careful of cavalry attack, that's the only thing. That's the problem with bringing slingers and not archers. And I'll have most of my archers stretched out behind the line here. This is going to be quite hard to control in Total War, so I'll need to be careful. Right. So I will probably have to just issue a general move command forward. Oh, and take us out of phalanx mode for the moment. I'll have to do that once the battle starts. Because a rapid advance to contact is probably my best policy right now. So again, there's this quality gradient through my army, although it's a little bit more extreme this time. It just goes Spartans, armoured hoplites, and then the weakest units are the ordinary hoplites at the very back. The German cavalry will be a problem, but these units are probably the best units to bring to fight cavalry. As long as they're not directly engaged, phalanxes can take out cavalry very quickly. Okay. Right, another box formation. But that suits me fine. That means that I have all the time in the world that I need to maneuver. So we'll make a start. Okay, try and steer my units a little bit better. Okay, move quickly to try and close those cavalry down, limit what they can do to us. Okay, turn across. Nope, they evaded us. Okay, so that's thwarted my strategy a little bit. Keep going. They're behind us, but we're just going to have to deal. Right, we need to hurry now. So the enemy cavalry are behind. They've got a little bit too far ahead. Let the formation catch up. Oh, this has kind of undone me, hasn't it? Right, stop everything, let my other units catch up. So of course here come the enemy cavalry. Right, see what the enemy cavalry have to do, because they're paralysing my formation for the moment. Right, they're going to go after the archers, that makes sense. And for some reason my archers decide to run into the enemy cavalry. Brilliant job there, lads. Really earned your badges there. Why would they choose to run towards the cavalry? How incredibly foolish was that? Okay, we need to bring this cavalry down. I'm not even watching what's going on the other side of the battlefield. Oh, this is a mess. Bring the general over. We're doing nothing at all to that cavalry. We're going to have to advance and do our best because I can't catch them. Lads, pikes down! Oh god. The one time my phalanxes actually behave like phalanxes. In that they're very unmaneuverable and can't turn on a dime. Did we at least... No. Oh, this is really, really, really not going my way, is it? There's no use chasing Cav. Just get into the battle at this point. Micromanagement of ordering each individual unit to attack is taking up all of my concentration now. Uh-oh, and berserkers as well, and they do very well against infantry. I've got no response to this. So let me select the 2 units. And he's shattered my flanks. These guys turned around the wrong way. Useless perishers. Oh, this is a catastrophe. So, Leuctra, of course, ancient strategy, very out of date, and very out of date with without any cavalry to back it up as well. Because the Greeks, that was an oversight on my part. I was in a hurry to set up my army, and I completely neglected to set up the Greek cavalry. Because the Greeks would have had some cavalry at their disposal, and that might have allowed me to catch his Gothic cavalry before they got behind our backs. We are starting to pull things around here. I think I've actually seen the Gothic cavalry off here. I said get into phalanx. Okay, we are starting to break through into the archer line now. Right, knives out, lads. Oh, maybe this might actually work. Swords out into their lines. Oh man, that general's bodyguard is doing all of the work. It's run into several phalanxes and it's still winning. Still going strong. Thing is, I know that these spears are kind of a red herring because it's not where the strength of the German army lies. I'm fighting a Greek-style battle, but I'm not fighting a Greek army.
Your general has thrown away his life.
We just got
our
general just got immolated.
His men may soon be bird feed too.
How did he get around there? He managed to move all the way around there and got into the back of my Spartans within seconds. And we're closing him down. Closing him down. We got him en route, but he'll just evade. I have no idea how we're still alive. I have no idea how we're still alive. Keep going. Still got cavalry. Now we're kind of running into a problem the Spartans had, that they couldn't catch the enemy skirmishers. There is a historical basis to this mess of skirmish foot causing problems for the Greek army. I see you. Just casually turn around, bring our phalanxes down. Bring the pikes down. And then bring the horsemen down. And he's keeping them going with orders not to stop. I've got to say, Bart has been handling these battles very well. Excellent command and control. And let's just shave a few units off there. A few elements off there. He's going after this weak unit here. If I turn around, I should be able to bring the pikes down, and there we go. Keep going. But don't get drawn off into isolated. Oh, he still managed to break them. Of course, because they were low in number, their general's dead, they just don't have the morale to fight on anymore. Surely those chosen archers have to go down soon. Oh. Flanked. I think I'm winning. I think I am winning this. It's just so difficult to tie down those cavalry. Oh my goodness, could I actually win this? Yep. I'm actually confident enough to return at that time.
Victory is ours, but by the narrowest of margins.
How on earth did I win that? Well, there's not much left of the Greek army, but okay, it worked. Nothing like the strategy I envisioned. But I did it. I won. Whew. In the end, I don't think although they were agile, the German cavalry and archer elements just weren't powerful enough to bring down all of my pike blocks, particularly the tough Spartans. You'll note that all of my hoplites are gone. It's only the armoured hoplites and the Greeks that are left. Let's have a look at some of the casualties inflicted there. One of our units got nothing. They lost all of their lines, all of their units, and they killed no one. And that was probably a unit that was hit in the back by cavalry. Anyway, best of 3. Let's see how the next battle goes. Okay. Ooh. Not the best weather for it. This time I am... Well, as you can see from the mess of horse archers, I should have probably brought a few more cataphracts than that. We're going the Parthians, and we are going for a Carrhae style battle. So I'm going to have my heavy horse back here. At approaching the front of his formation will be a force of Persian cavalry. And the rest of this is basically just horse archers acting as a missile platform. So my aim will be to try and overwhelm the enemy cavalry quickly. So what I probably want to do is send out my horse archers, try and draw the horsemen forward, and then shoot them down, and then return to surround the infantry and archers. And I'll probably want to try and shoot the archers down first, and then return to deal with the infantry. But these Persian cavalry are here because they have some melee capabilities in addition to their role as horse archers. The horse archers are, well, they're just a missile platform. They are there to deliver missile death to the enemy. And the cataphracts are here as a heavy reserve. If any of the Romans do try to break out, these units then charge forward and break anything which tries to come out to attack us. So we'll need to wait for my opponent to deploy. So these shoot and fight. There are line cavalry, and these smash apart anything which comes out to try to stop us. Now you could say this is a bit of a cheesy army, but in Total War terms, but that's what Crassus found at the Battle of Carrhae himself, and it can be countered. If my opponent's brought nothing but cavalry, for example, then I'm in for a rude shock, although I still have options there. As I said, I can try and draw them into a fight and then use these cataphracts as a concentrated armoured reserve to smash into them and to bring them down. And you've seen me use light troops to lure the enemy into fragments and then smash them from an opportune angle. Any second now. Any second now. Crassus apparently died by having molten gold poured down his throat, which sounds like a particularly horrible way to die. My opponent has boxed up. That's exactly what Crassus did on the day. And so we will respond to that by surrounding the Romans. So that's actually exactly what the Parthian commander wants to see happen. Whoops. So big sweeping flank movements. And the cataphracts and the general stay behind. Okay, so the enemy cavalry are coming out to play as expected. Connection problems, I think. Bert's internet seems to be playing up a little bit, but bear with him. He's been a fantastic opponent so far. Okay, I see them breaking off to go after my Parthian cavalry here. But if they're going to do that, then we can ride after them and we can ride them down. I'll keep that wing back in reserve for the minute. And remember what I said about these guys? They can go after them. And the problem Bart's having is that his cavalry are ranging far ahead of the rest of the army. They're not supporting the rest of the army. Although this is dangerous. Get out of there. Get out of there. I'm clicking on the edge of the map. Okay. Those guys may have come a little too close to the sun. We're going to catch them in a big crescent and swallow them up. Of course, that means my own horse archers are about to get hit. Okay, and then in go the armoured reserve to hit the enemy flankers. Well, I didn't mean to end up with all of my cavalry around here, but that's kind of how it ended up going. Right, bring up the cavalry. Ooh, those archers are tearing us apart here. Redeploy! Dear God. Mercy from the arrows. Oh, we're getting baked alive. Okay, right. That's what the cataphracts are for, to deal with situations like this. Right, I need to focus my arrows in against their archers. Killing their archers is now the priority, because we need to ruin their ability to fire back at us. Cataphracts didn't quite get the urgency of that call, did they? Uh-oh, they're routed. How are we doing? We're causing them casualties? Not enough. So this is now a siege. We need to try and win the archer battle. Oh, the cavalry are coming out to fight, as that's the Roman general. The Romans are throwing in their reserves. I don't have any of my own reserves out here, so I'm going to have to just surround them and do my best to bring them down. Oh, and the... uh-oh. Where did they come from? Oh, it's a unit that rallied. Now we're in trouble. It's a part of... oh my goodness, so many horsemen died there. So of course the problem with a strategy like that, and he's trying to lure me back, I'm not going to fall for it. Well, that means that I've lost my chance to keep shooting at the archers. I managed to clear them away. Those triarii are going to be a problem. Oh, they are not the main target. My main target is those archers. I should pour fire into those archers. Uh-oh. Okay, but they've opened up the formation. That means we can charge. Counterattack. Come on, get everything and charge. Nah, he responded so fast. Incredibly quick reaction by Bart there. Oh, oh, we did not come out on top of that at all. He's broken them. And the general's now in action, but this battle he can't necessarily win. I need some of these horse archers to rally up. Finally broke their general, but I think he saved his army.
Now attack and break the will of his followers.
Try and break those triarii by sheer force of will, but triarii are tough troops. They have high morale. I need to put skirmish mode back on because all of my troops are out of skirmish mode now. Okay, that's managed to even things up a little bit. Some of my armies rallied from that near disaster. I don't think I have... well, one, my opponents defended his army far more effectively than Crassus did. Crassus managed, and two, I don't think I've been nearly as patient or as effective as Serena. Obviously the Roman archers are being very effective again. If we can get the Roman... oh, we just don't have the morale. We don't have the morale to deal with this. Uh-oh. Right, if we can break these small units of triarii, that will help us. Okay, managed to bring down one unit of the enemy archers. Hopefully they'll just break and then they'll come back again. Oh, we've cracked them here. We have cracked them here. Okay, what else is going on? That Roman army is starting to look very small and very vulnerable. We're clean out of arrows here. There we go. That's starting to cause cracks in the Roman army to appear. Oh, but it's still against spears. Oh, they held their ground. They held their nerve. They really are. So I kind of pulled off a Carrhae strategy. The archers made things more interesting, and the regular chargers, I wasn't able to pull the... I wasn't able to pull his cap. Well, I managed it a couple of times, but the last couple of those sallies, I was under too much pressure to pull back and effectively and trap his cavalry in the way that Serena historically managed it. Okay, we're closing in from all sides now. This should be the end for the Romans. I don't think our general was quite ready for that. Actually, the Romans are holding pretty well here. I need to stop listening to my opponents when they say finish me. Everyone feels like they're losing in a battle. Although I do think this... yeah, there we go. He's surrendered. Bart, good game. That was a tough situation to be in, and it may not have been an entirely fair fight with that number of, Parthian cavalry, but it was... Man, was this a tough one. There we go. Okay. Well, everyone, 3 great games there. I've been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching this. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you next time. Farewell.